absolutely. I think we should take a little fly over to Signal Street, um, as we got led from the observatory to Signal Street as we shoot for the stars and take a look at some of the information that we were talking about. So we're being led to the observatory because of Galileo Observatory right here, right? Has 7 letters in the name Galileo. Now,
And Galilee.
we
And
did a
Galilee.
video and Galilee, yes, and we did a video with Drunken Mercenary before, and we talked about the garbage cans that he found. You found garbage cans that have a different writing on them compared to all the other garbage cans found in the game, and garbage cans are very interesting, as there was a note and a paper found inside of them. And then there was something that you're tying. What's this Cypress 77 thing? What is this? Because, the 7 seems to be a number that we're going to bring up. Why is this being brought up? What is this whole Cypress 77 thing? What's going on with that?
Hold on, Drunken. I'm just going to tap in for just 1 second. Remember that at one day in a week, and you stand at the observatory, you see a beam of light. Remember that?
No,
you see
really.
a beam of light in the air, and some people think it's a lightning glitch.
Oh, didn't you show that where there's like the two, call them the titties, the two big
but that's also where the graffiti is, and now that we are showing those arrows from the pillar, I'm just flying in. I thought to myself, hey man, I recognize this.
Is this scene from the okay? Because I know that you showed the image of that beam of light in your video from this location. Like I call these two things the big titties. I call these the big titties.
The
so
big
if I ever
titties.
talk about the big titties, this is what I'm talking about. But I seen the beam of light coming down in the sky in between the titties. Can you see that beam of light from the observatory?
Yeah, it's from the observatory till here.
Oh, okay.
It's coming from here.
Okay.
And if you look at the, people can Google that, the Anna and Keita wallpaper from Rockstar, you will see there's an eye. It's a wallpaper of those two titties here, and there's a big eye, and he's holding a lighting. And then he flies off to the. Yeah, it's hard to explain. You really have to see it for yourself. Those wallpapers. They're called Anna with with only one N, like Anna with one N, and then Keita, K-A-T-A.
Okay, yeah, on the Rockstar website, if you go to the wallpaper.
Yeah, if you go there, you will see these two.
Yeah, go to the art, go to the
wallpapers,
and you'll see Anna and Keita wallpaper. I know what you're talking about. I do know what you're saying.
But. Okay, but sorry to interrupt you, Drunken Mercenary, but it was just because we're flying here, so.
Yeah, no problem. I don't know about that beam you were talking about, but it sounds interesting to me.
It could be a lightning glitch, by the way. So.
And if it happens over here, I have something interesting about the place, the next pier, but that's nothing to talk about now. Back to the 77 thing, the Cypress 77. I don't know, Danny. It's just something to do with, opening something. It's the idea of, we're gonna open up a door. We're gonna get beamed up to Uranus because Uranus is a 7th planet. Right up your asshole.
Right.
So I just think there's something to do with, since the Uranus thing came up with the 7th planet. It's the 7th planet. I brought that up, but somebody brought that up to me.
And you said somebody was pressing.
Made that graffiti.
You said somebody was on Reddit talking about pressing something like 7 on your keypad, on your phone pad or something.
Yeah, that was me.
The big thing
it's
is
like if you segregate and rearrange Cypress 77, and I'm still thinking about what is the meaning of the black cell phone and the SOS code, the Morse code, and I thought about, okay, what if you like Cypress 77? It's like press 77. You see,
like a cipher almost. It's kind of a similar word, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
just
Oh,
speculating, but
Cypher.
just speculating.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it could be more complicated, maybe with pressing the planet Uranus, like typing Uranus in your phone, or I don't know why. I just don't think it's as simple as just pressing 77.
You know, and Rockstar kind
Because
of gives us a
I've
clue
tried
with
that
that.
actually.
They do kind of give
um,
us clues with that. With like they kind of give us cheat codes, but they kind of like let us know only use cheats like when you're trying to have fun, not to progress, because obviously things will be actually taken away. You can't get certain achievements or trophies if you try to progress using cheats. But they do show us that some of the cheats are even like tied to words, like typing in certain words. So I think that maybe that you could be on something with that. Maybe typing in a certain word would reveal something or whatever. I mean, wasn't Signal Street the street that you found the garbage cans on? Isn't that also where the Cypress 77 is found as well?
it's found beside here on Elysium Highway. Uh, it's found literally right before you get to the oil fields on the beach, kind of.
Let's
It's
take a
that's the only place you can find it.
let's take a ride over to the Children of the Mountain Church that you brought
Yeah.
up, Dibs. And
I
the
still
one thing
haven't
that
have. Where is that graffiti? I'm looking for that graffiti. It was here, right?
No, it wasn't here actually. It was
Oh.
it's over. Can you see my waypoint? It's right here. You see my waypoint?
I'm pretty sure I saw that Cypress 77 graffiti
it's
on
more than
many
likely,
places.
yeah, it's more than likely in a few places, and they might all be. And that's the thing. That's kind of how Rockstar get you. There's a lot of relevant locations, and they might all be tied into one giant clue. So I think that that's kind of what we're probably dealing with. If we could find it in more than one location, it's probably tied to a lot of similar or relevant locations. You said that you were playing over San Andreas
You
right
know the
now.
way to Franklin's house, right?
Yes, yes. I'm just taking a look
Yeah,
at the
because we're flying in the opposite
I'm just
direction.
flying to his location right now, to his marker.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Um, and then what's interesting, we were at the observatory, and you brought up some like Excalibur clues and interesting stuff, drunken, and it's funny that you brought up stuff like that, because there is some. I brought this up in my last video about the castles over on the sign and by Polito. And you got the
Mm-hmm.
Arthur's Pass right there at the observatory. Well, King Arthur. It's kind of funny you brought up Excalibur as you're playing over San Andreas. Isn't that a real name of a restaurant in real life in this location, and it's in the game as well?
It's all over GTA, man. Come to find out, they have a neighborhood called Excalibur in GTA 1. They have a commercial in GTA 3 called the Medieval Millennium Fair. And millennium means Chiliad or 1,000. And then there was the casino in San Andreas was the Camelot Casino. And the big thing with the casino thing would be the jackpot, which is 777.
Right.
Okay, hold on,
Um,
And
hold
in
on.
real life,
Look,
that casino in real life isn't that called the Excalibur Casino?
Yeah, in real life it is, and that's just all foreshadow things for like a deeper mystery, because like you said, Arthur's Pass is connected to the observatory, and the new Red Dead Redemption 2 main character has been announced as Arthur Morgan. So
Interesting.
that's another Arthur, and I was replaying San Andreas, and I just got to Las Vegas last night, and and guys, I went to the casino and had a weird thing happen with the ambulance where the word ambulance was cut off and it only showed lance, like a lance, a
Ah, that's
spear.
cool.
hey,
Yeah,
hey,
but
guys,
Arthur
hold
Morgan,
on.
yeah, sorry.
What's up?
Remember 77 Cypress, okay? You see 77 here.
Yeah, there's an
Suddenly,
X
you
right
see a
there with that.
big X, so your only gift left is press 7. Fact.
Look at that. Look at that, guys. So, to see, this is what I was just talking about with typing in the phone. So you got 77, you got Cypress,
Press 7.
but the X is crossing out the C and Y. So all it
You
is
got to type
Press.
X in.
77. You got an X crossing out C and
X.
Y, right? So all that's left is
Ah,
press 7. Press 7.
Fact. And look under there,
Fact.
fact.
Fact. Press
Fact.
7. Fact. That's interesting as all hell.
Yeah, and it hasn't been mentioned yet, but 77's on the missile silo that's been added in the Doomsday heist.
Is it really?
And yeah, 77 is on the missile silo. It says B77, and like the letter B in 77 is on the missile silo that's been added. And I mean, there's been other things added. Like like if you discreetly look at updates, Danny, they have like the tattoos, the dragon tattoos, and
Yeah.
one has a katana on it in the new update, has a dragon and a katana, which is a sword. Yeah, I always thought a sword was just missing from the old games. I love the sword and cutting people's heads off, honestly.
But this is really, I mean, this is really interesting. I'm really thinking that there's something that could be with this, because that's the one thing, guys. The phone. The phone is very underused, in my opinion. I feel like there is something that we can type in. I mean, we did find out the black cell phones, and that's tied to what? Emperor, right? The color
I'm going
Emperor.
to check it out right away.
Yeah,
So
1999 Emperor. And I
Right.
think I've always thought it was going to be another cheat code to do with 1999, another word, Uranus
Right.
or whatever you
And
gotta
I'm
type
thinking
in.
that there's so many things with the
Um,
phone that's underused. Like in story mode, we have the characters. We have to call up Lester, or I mean, call up what's his name, and send them images with their phone. Right? You gotta send pictures of when you're hunting with Trevor. You gotta do a lot with your phone. Even if you take a picture in the game, like if we were on the beach right now and they were having the music playing on the boardwalk, and I took a picture or something, the music that's playing in the game would show up on my picture as showing up. It saves every time you take a snapmatic picture. It saves the sound that's playing, the location that you're at, the waypoint to it. So why are they saving all that information? Why are they showing us all the use of phones and the things that we could do with the phones in the game? And then when it's actually boiling down to active gameplay, we don't utilize barely any of that information ever. So I'm thinking that that's maybe a little hint as what we can do when it comes to this Easter egg, or ultimately the mystery. I think that we're definitely looking at some issues with the phone and some situations, as I feel like it is definitely an underused feature in the game.
yeah, especially the black cell phone. Yeah, EMP drop. If you type that in, then you get that bomb. Nobody knows what it's for. It
Right,
doesn't
and the
make sense.
color ends up being the Emperor, right? That shade of gray, the Emperor
Yeah.
color, which is also the type of vehicle that Lamar drives. So isn't that kind of
Oh,
funny? Lamar Davis drives an
uh,
Emperor, an Albany Emperor. So,
oh, I didn't
hey,
realize that.
and he talks all about kings and mythology and stuff during the what's those missions called? The lowrider missions. All those
Yeah, he
lowrider
does.
missions at Benny's, dude. Lamar talks all about mythology and kings and servants and peasants and
He actually quote unquote says a night at the round table.
right.
Um, and he says like he talks about dragons and all this different stuff. And you know about the eggs video, right?
Oh yeah, when he says
Like Lamar
eggs,
likes
eggs,
eggs.
eggs. Yeah,
Eggs.
he says eggs like 87,000 times in that fucking scene. Why are we looking at a
hey,
beacon here, Debs? What is going on with the beacon?
yeah, yeah, because it's an obelisk, like just like the observatory. Only this one says beacon, like and now we're flying.